Hey, Goat Knucklers, it's Flo, and you're on with Goat Knuckle Talk with Flo. And let me introduce you to Lisa, who is my co-host, Lisa Nolan Hafner.
Hi, Michael.
So, who do we have on our show tonight?
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm sure everybody recognizes this beautiful face, Miss Kristi Aday. And I want to introduce her as her title, and that's the topic of tonight's conversation. I hope I don't screw this up. So, Executive Director of Plainview Hale County Economic Development Corporation. Did I get
That's right.
that?
You got it right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, Kristi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And then, before we get started into our deep dialogue, just share with us how you got into this field and how long you've been doing it.
Sure. Well, I'm a 1985 graduate. And after Plainview, I went to Tech and got my undergraduate degree in political science. Got out and realized that there's nothing you can do with a degree in political science. And so I went to get my master's in public administration and city management specifically. And I worked in Dallas, I worked in the Woodlands, I worked in Orlando, a little suburb outside of Orlando. Most recently, I was in New Braunfels, working for the city there. And then a lot of things in life happened, and I decided to move back to Plainview. I kind of took a leap of faith and thought, well, I'm going to go back to Plainview and somebody will hire me, right? Somebody will hire me. And it just so happens that the economic development director for the city was leaving. And so I got a call and asked to come down and interview for the executive director of the Plainview Hale County Economic Development Corporation. And, it all just came together. The job and a house and the move, and here I am. I find myself back in my hometown after 30 plus years.
Wow.
That's
So you still
exciting.
take the drag? You still take the Fifth Street drag on the weekends?
Oh yeah, every weekend. Grab my hacky sack and go.
There you go.
That's wonderful. Well, I kind of think that was serendipitous that job opened just as you were planning to make this, big move and life change. I'm sure it's kind of odd going back home after all these
Very, very.
Yeah, for sure. But I think Plainview probably needed some fresh air, a fresh new person, a fresh perspective from someone who's actually been around the country and around Texas doing this job. So,
Well, thank you.
Plainview's so lucky to have you.
I'm sorry.
Plainview is so lucky to have you.
Oh, that's very kind, Lisa. I thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here. It's a interesting, challenging, and sort of a one-in-a-kind opportunity to sell your hometown, right? I grew up here. I know about it. I know people. And now here I am trying to sell it to people outside of Plainview. And so it's really, really a special experience for me.
Well, cool. Well, let's start into it. Let's dig in. Whataburger Chick-fil-A. What the hell? I mean, really?
Yes. So Plainview, if you ask Plainview residents what their top three businesses that they want are, it's Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, and H-E-B. Hands down. So we got a Whataburger, and that's going in on 5th Street. And then I just was able to land Chick-fil-A about 2 years ago. And so we've been negotiating, and it was announced sort of undercover last week. So it's not official, but don't tell anybody. We're getting a Chick-fil-A, and it'll be out past the I-27 on 5th Street.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's Whataburger going to be off of 5th and 27 as well?
It is. It'll be remember where the Congress Inn was?
Yes.
Yes, there.
Yeah, they took away my bar when I used to come to Plainview. I used to go to the Night Owl. What was
I don't remember what it was called.
Or Hideout,
there was the Red Door for a while, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's the other one.
Oh, is it? Okay. I never went. I don't know. Reed Rao used to be a bartender there.
Wow.
Really? Oh my
yes.
He didn't mention that last week.
I should have told you all that.
That's cool.
We get to learn all this stuff. You telling me about this makes me think of that Jefferson song, "Moving On Up."
Yeah.
Yes, Plainview is moving on up.
It is. It's all about location and us being on I-27, right between Lubbock and Amarillo. And, there are several other state highways that go through Plainview, and it's all about location. We've attracted some businesses specifically for our location. We got a new business here about a year ago that does piping. So all they do is piping, specialized piping, large pipes, small pipes, all these pipes, and mainly for agricultural use. But now they've got the contract with Samsung in Austin. And so this little piping company in Plainview is supplying all the piping to Samsung that's being built outside of Austin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
You see those companies all over Houston, and you
Yeah.
remember that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's piping companies for the oil and gas.
That's right.
I want to go back to Whataburger and Chick-fil-A.
Sure.
When do they anticipate like the breaking? I mean, breaking ground and then.
Sure. Whataburger has started the flat work, so they've started land preparation. So you can see some work going on out there. It'll be about a year before they open, probably 9 months to a year. Chick-fil-A, we haven't started anything yet. We're still working on the agreements.
Okay.
We haven't even signed contracts yet, which we're working on right now. And they would like to get started with some kind of work this month. I expect it'll be probably September.
Did it help them knowing that Whataburger was coming?
I think Whataburger was first.
Right.
If
But I'm
you
saying
go,
the Chick-fil-A.
yeah, because all this, it starts several years ago when they start looking at us. And so we started negotiating with Chick-fil-A 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so we've just been working on agreements and setbacks and all the sort of engineering things that you have to do, land development things that you have to do. And so we've been working on that, and I expect that they'll want to get done in September. And then what I've been told, at least from the industry overall, is that once Chick-fil-A locates in your community, all kinds of other people start looking at you.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think that's really open it up for Plainview. And again, it's location right on I-27.
What's going to be your first meal at Whataburger?
Taquitos.
That's cool. That's cool. And then because we have Kristi was nice enough to send us a list, 20-page list. So no, it's only 3 pages. But Walmart Distribution Center is going to go robotics.
Yeah, this is a really cool project that I've been working on too. Everybody remembers that the Walmart Distribution Center on I-27 came to Plainview in the late 80s, if I remember correctly. So they've been in Plainview, God, forever. And it's an older facility, but what they're doing is renovating the entire facility and taking all the equipment out and installing robotics. They're doing that with several of their distribution centers around the country to really compete with Amazon, to be more efficient at whatever it is they do, delivery and putting it in the trucks and all of that stuff. So they're doing it here in Plainview, which is really exciting. It's a $450 million investment.
Wow.
They're not going to cut any jobs, which is really good. That's one of the questions a lot of people have. Well, if it's more efficient, how do they not cut jobs? And they're not going to, because they've been, as people quit, they don't fill the position. So they've been keeping vacancies. And they're getting ready for it. It's really pretty exciting for Plainview.
And when do you think they'll have all that completed?
Their projections are 2027, 2028. It's in about four phases. So
Right.
They'll put about a third of it in first and operate that, and then put in another third, and then the third. So,
well, you mentioned apartments on here, but I mean, yeah, you're gonna need more housing if you guys are gonna attract more businesses.
100%. If anybody's a home builder out there, call me. Plainview needs housing really bad, and all these little towns. It's not just Plainview; it's everywhere. Just because of the growth. And we've got a couple of new apartment complexes coming in, but those are all seniors. They're designated for seniors, and some of them are rent controlled, not all of them. But we need new housing really badly. And so, we've met with like the Home Builders Association in Lubbock, And the issue is from their perspective is they have all the work that they need in Lubbock and Amarillo. They don't need to come to Plainview.
You basically need to go after a developer.
Yep.
Someone's to buy a lot of acres and then build another subdivision, basically.
Yeah, that's what it'll take. It'll be a mass kind of thing, I think. It'll either be really small or really large.
Yeah.
So
we land available for sale? I mean, is there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there is. There's several locations and people are looking at it. Part of the problem is there's no utilities to those properties. And that's really expensive, is to put utilities in. And so, we try to work with partnerships between the city and the developer so that the city can help finance the infrastructure where we can and where it makes sense and where the return on investment makes sense. So we've got a few that we're talking to, but it's hard finding builders. It's just really hard finding builders.
Yeah, and then when you do, I mean, it's really hard to build apartments there because then it's going to be hard to find subs.
That's right.
Reliable, subs that are affordable for the general contractor. Because I'm in that business. I work in construction. We're miscellaneous metals, and we build apartments. And so that's why Houston and Dallas and Austin, San Antonio, they keep growing and building a lot of apartments. And now we're seeing a lot more of them building homes, basically like building 150 rental homes. Yeah. And they don't build them to once they rent it. No, they go there and build all these houses and then people lease them out. And it's like apartments, but these are houses. So
I even went and met with a modular builder to see about that. Have you heard of that, where they do, build it off site and then bring it in? Yeah. I met with some people that way, doing those kind of properties, but I don't think that works for Plainview very well. I don't think it works for our wind and
so I was gonna say the wind's gonna blow the show.
Exactly.
I don't think that would go there. Well, I mean, is there a possibility that you would go out of state to look for builders, or
Well, yeah, I mean, nothing's off the table, I'll say that, but for anybody that comes to Plainview, they're going to have to drive in from Lubbock. They're going to have to drive in from Amarillo. And they're either going to have to put their whole construction team up in hotels here while they're here. And that just adds on to the costs. So, there's builders in Lubbock and Amarillo and around here that could do it, but it's just the cost is exorbitant with gas prices and the travel back and forth. Right. That's the issue. That's really the issue.
Yeah, a lot of logistics, a lot of infrastructure logistics involved that makes it more complicated. I know, as a layman, I'm thinking, well, just buy that property and build a house.
Exactly, build a house.
No, I mean, Lisa, all of our crews travel to these cities. None of them, we don't have any of our crews that live in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio. They're traveling. We used to do work all over the country, and they would travel from Houston to Tennessee, to Virginia, to California. Did I say Virginia? Really? Virginia. So anyway,
that's the Plainview in you.
Yeah, that's you got to come up with mobilizations and housing and food. So
and for a small town like Plainview,
but it's gonna grow. It sounds maybe in about 10 years. I saw that. Yeah, man,
people complain about the traffic.
Yeah, get on 45, Kristi. You remember 45?
Exactly.
Well, I want to know more about this. So is the DSM the company you were talking about? That's the new supplier for the chip making?
No, this is a whole different one.
Oh.
And this is
the Korean company.
This is the Korean company. So it was very interesting. I got a call, 2 years ago, from a Korean company that wanted to come meet with me. And so 3 little Korean guys come in to meet with me. And, I'm a giant. So
everyone's little to you, Kristi. Exactly. Just going to say that we're all little.
Exactly. So, there was a little bit of a issue talking, but we got through it. Yeah. But they picked Plainview. This is one that they picked. There's a company, let me back up. There's a company in Plainview called Martin Industries, and they're out on the Dimmitt Highway, like you're going to Nazareth. And they make sulfuric acid for agriculture. Well, this Korean company has come in and partnered with them to make what's called electronic level sulfuric acid. So they take the sulfuric acid and they do their magic to it, whatever that is, and it makes it appropriate for computer chips, because computer chips use sulfuric acid in some way. And so they make all of that sulfuric acid and they ship it all down to Austin for the chip making process there. They're the sole provider. They were the sole provider in Korea when they partnered in Korea, and now they're the sole provider here in the United States. They've done phase one. It was a $25 million project. They've created about 25, 30 jobs or so. They're already planning phase two, and they're negotiating phases 3 and 4. So it's a huge investment in Plainview. And what I think is really cool about it is the diversification. I mean, little Plainview has 2 businesses that are working with Samsung, Samsung. We had the ribbon cutting ceremony for that plant about 2 weeks ago. The construction crew came in from Japan. The chairman of Samsung United States came in to Plainview on his G5 or G8 or whatever it was. And all these officials from Korea, from Japan, from Austin, all came into Plainview to sort of bless the plant and get it going. So pretty cool stuff, I think.
Oh yeah, that's really exciting.
It really is.
Yeah.
Jeez, you guys gonna be the Silicon Valley of West Texas.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Do any of these guys live there, or they plan to live there?
A few of them do, but mostly they go to Lubbock. They live in Lubbock.
Okay.
Nowhere to live here.
Well,
I know.
it's okay. You gotta build more businesses.
Well, it sounds like you can build homes. Why don't you come to Plainview and build some houses?
I know, right? Yeah. Build one, flip it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
100%.
That's cool. Well, let's talk about the Cargill building. So how long has that been vacant?
So Cargill went under in 2013.
They go under, or I thought they just
closed.
Okay.
No, they closed.
Okay.
The city got about 2 weeks notice, I think, that they were closing, and like over 2,000 people lost their job overnight.
Wow.
And so it's been sitting vacant. Well, yeah, pretty much vacant since 2013. But just last year, a company out of California called J&S Foods, they're a frozen food company, frozen food distribution. They've built it, or they've bought it, and they're renovating it, and they're going to open their first distribution center outside of California. They have 4 in California now, and they bought Cargill and are putting one in Texas.
That's more jobs right there.
That's right. I'm sorry, Lisa.
How did they even find out that this was an opportunity?
That was I was going to ask you. Are you doing trade shows across the country?
I do some. I don't do a whole lot. But in these cases, like for Cargill, that building, J&S Foods, who bought it, was a client of Cargill. So they knew about it. And they had been following the facility for several years. And I guess they just got to a place where they could go ahead and purchase it. So they've been watching it for some time.
That's cool. You know they did a documentary. I
do.
Cheadle. What's his name?
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle did a documentary about the drought in Plainview, and then they mentioned Cargill.
They came here and shot part of it. One of the girls that was in my high school class was in it. So yeah, they shot it, 2015, something like that, I think. Yeah. I need to call him and give him an update.
There you go. Yeah.
Gosh, exciting times.
Yeah, definitely.
So going down your list, cucumbers. Wow, I did not know this.
There are just some really cool facts that I've learned now that I'm learning Plainview as an adult. right? You didn't know these things when we were growing up. We were just driving up and down Fifth Street and, going to Nazareth or whatever we did. But there's some really cool things that you just don't know about. Not all the pickles, but many of the cucumbers for Best Made Pickles are grown in Plainview. So whenever you go to the grocery store, buy some Best Made Pickles and support
Yes,
Plainview.
I knew there was a big cucumber industry. I do
That's
remember
right.
as a kid. I remember that there was a big cucumber industry there, but I didn't know it was that big. I thought it was just really small.
Is it one farmer? Or I assume several farmers.
I think it's several farmers. It's the Ebling family.
Oh, okay.
You recognize that name, but
Monty, I know the name Monty.
Yeah, there were several of them, but it's the Ebling family that they've partnered with Best Made Pickles.
Damn.
Who knew?
Interesting. And let's go to Azteca. That's been there a while.
Yeah, Azteca's been there for a really long time. It's the largest masa producing factory, I guess, in the United States for that Mexican company. It's a Mexican company who owns it. And they distribute it all over the country, that masa all over the country.
Okay, wow. It's just masa that
and cornmeal. Masa and cornmeal.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at
how long they've been? They've been there, what, 30 years at least?
I think so. I remember them growing up a little bit. Yeah. It may not have been that specific.
They were there when we were there.
Were they?
No. In high school? No.
Yes, they were. Hey, so did they supply the masa for the Costa Rica tortillas?
I believe so.
Okay.
See, I didn't know. I never heard of Costa Rica tortillas.
Yeah, they're in, I think it used to be, wasn't there like a Coca-Cola bottling plant along I-27? I kind of think that's what it is. Anyway, they do tortillas all over. I think they go by the name Ramirez and Sons.
Yes.
So
okay.
Yeah. So when you're in the grocery store, look for Ramirez and Sons.
Okay.
Tortillas, and that's what masa made from, or the tortillas are made here in Plainview.
Wow. And of course, head shop. I guess you're talking about a smoke shop.
Yes, we have a head shop. If you remember, I believe this is correct, the Chinese food place. What was the name of that?
Big East, or
no?
Far East.
Far East. The Far East.
Yeah.
Somebody bought that and turned it to a smoke shop, and it's just ugly, and people complain about it, and it's just sort of an eyesore. It's black, and then they've just taken paintbrushes and just sling paint at it, so that's what it looks like all over it. So
you guys don't have like codes or anything like that?
Yeah.
Don't they have to get approval from the city?
Not for paint colors.
Really? Well, I guess that should be on the next agenda, right?
Exactly.
Being creative and making it look like a Pollock painting.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody complains about it, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. It's not. They make a lot of money. I will say that they make a lot of money, but
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, after this episode, somebody will get the word out. The thing he did.
That's right.
Damn, Lee. So we should have built one of those in high school.
You know,
rich by now.
We skipped over this the popcorn that supplies Neiman Marcus. That's really cool. You know how they have a Christmas catalog and they have the Neiman popcorn.
I thought they were closed. I guess they're not closed. No, okay.
They recently sold, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, to a new owner, and he's been running it. But yeah, they've supplied Neiman Marcus with popcorn for many, many years. I mean, like 20 years or more. So
that's a high-end store.
It is. I just think those are little tidbits that you never would have known about in Plainview, right? Nobody thinks about that kind of stuff, but you learn them, and they're really cool.
I wonder who sold that job. That's cool. Now, Kenneth White Galleries. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Kenneth White. I assume he was a local painter, or
yeah, some people are. Kenneth White is a famous artist who did country and Western art, I guess.
Western art. He's very, very famous.
Very famous. Had galleries in Santa Fe and Ruidoso and all these different places. And then COVID, of course, helped close all that. And he died. He had his home and art gallery in Tulia, of all places. And he died, and his family moved the gallery to here in Plainview, in downtown Plainview, which is a really great addition to all the other businesses that are going in downtown Plainview. If you haven't been there, it's almost like the Plainview downtown of growing up, when Mars and Sons was open, and Christie's and Anthony's. There's really cool shops down there, and it just reminds me of those times, and it's great to see. And Kenneth White art galleries bringing people from all over the state.
That's wonderful. You know, I've only been to Plainview a couple of times since graduation.
Yeah.
And prior to our 40th reunion, I'd returned, and almost all of downtown was boarded up, and it just broke my heart. It made me so sad. And then to go back last summer and to see all of these businesses doing great, I was so elated to see this come back, you know.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of people taking a lot of chances, a lot of entrepreneurs taking big chances, because those buildings downtown are old, they have problems, they haven't been kept up to code. So there's a lot of chances people take when they do those old buildings, but we've just got a group of people who are fearless, you know, and they just want to dive in and do it. You know, Diana Hayes, of course, she has a couple of daughters who have businesses downtown, and they're just doing great. They're great.
Yeah. I mean, once they renovate, you got to bring everything up to code. So
that's right.
And plumbing and electric could probably be very pricey there, because you don't have many plumbers and electricians in that area. So you have to bring them outside.
Yeah, the big issue is sprinklers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The fire code.
Fire
sprinkler. Yep.
Yep, that's the big one. And so the city's done some things to help finance some of those things. So we're helping. The city government is helping, but still, it's really expensive.
Well, you know, kudos to the coffee shop. With that quick lunch used to be. I mean, but I love my quick lunch, man. I remember when I was a young kid, my dad it was like special. Hey, we're going quick lunch for breakfast. I'm like, yay! I mean, it meant a lot to have breakfast with the old man there. Quick lunch.
And you know, I never ate there growing up.
It was good.
I'm sure it was
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And you know, that's where they turned it into the diner for that movie, right?
Yes. And I was like, oh, I sat there once now where Steve is probably sitting.
Yeah.
And but that was a cool place to go to.
Yeah.
And now, so you guys do not have any movie theaters at all now besides the fair? Fair's open still or no?
Fair's open, but the one that we had out
5th Street,
the Cinemark.
Yeah,
I never went, so I'm not sure, but it was a Cinemark out across I-27 in some of those shopping centers over there, and it just closed recently. We don't know why. I'm sure they weren't making any money and probably needed to renovate.
Right.
So I'm trying to find another one to fill the space.
COVID did a big impact.
Absolutely.
With all the movie theaters across the nation.
Yep.
So, and if you're a little one, hell, I didn't know, but over here close to where I live, there's a what do you call it? Drive-in theater.
Really?
Yeah, and then if you drive there around 5 or 6, especially in the wintertime, man, you've got 30 cars already lined up to get in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. There was one in New Braunfels too. Yeah, it was fun.
Those were fun. We used to have one the drive-in, but you know, with all the streaming services, now when a movie is released, it's always also released on, you know, Netflix or Apple TV, and so people want to. And now, you know, people buy these giant televisions, so why go to the movies when it's cheaper to stream it at home?
Yeah. And you don't have to get out of your pajamas, right?
Exactly. So,
and you know, all the other, the new movie theaters have the chairs and the food and everything like that. Well, that, you know, Plainview's just not going to have that.
Yeah.
So even if you could get somebody to come do second run movies, that'd be great.
Well, if you do it like the Alamo Draft House, something like that, and just have it open on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, if people will support it, that could work possibly.
Possibly. There's one in Lubbock, so people go to Lubbock to that one. So I just don't know if there'd be a draw here in Plainview yet.
Well, I'm telling you, maybe in 10 years when you bring all these new restaurants and fast food and businesses,
that's right.
You're gonna have to build. So
that would be awesome if somebody would buy and renovate and restore the Granada Theater. I love that theater.
I know. There was an effort a couple of years ago. A guy bought it and was trying to raise money and just couldn't do it. And then sort of, I don't know the story, but what I've been told is just sort of gave up, and he bought the Cactus Theater in Lubbock. So he does own the Cactus Theater, but there's just not, I don't know what it is to do anything with Granada. It'd be so cool though.
Yeah, well, small theaters like that, because we have a couple in Dallas that are like Magnolia and Landmark.
Yes.
Like they host a lot of indie films and foreign films, and you know, you have to be a fan of those films, and I don't know that's appropriate for the demographics in Plainview.
What are you trying to say about Plainview?
Well, I mean, I'm not educated and versed people, but I mean, those theaters are struggling in Dallas, and this is a big area.
I'm messing with you, Lisa. I'm messing with you.
Niche market of people. Quit capping on me. And Mr. Burger.
I know, no more.
And they've been gone for a while though.
They have, but it's sad to drive by. It's just sad.
Now, I was trying to remember. There was 3 locations, correct?
Yes.
There's one in 5th in Quincy.
Yeah.
One on 24th. Yeah, I think one downtown and one at 24th and
I don't remember the cross street.
Like Joliet or something in that area. I
know there's one on the east side.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And
I remember, I'm not going to mention his name, but occasionally I would go there and I'll give him 20. He'll give me change back for 20. That's probably why they're closed.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell a story about Andrew Dunlap. He used to work there, and he worked under a guy named PJ. And so Andrew drove there one time and got him a burger, went home and took a first bite, and PJ intentionally left off the meat.
Well, that's pretty mild. He could have done much worse, right?
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. But we won't go there. This is a G-rated podcast. No, I'm kidding. But anyway.
If Mr. Burger was still there, I'd splurge and have a Dr. Pepper, a cherry lime Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Their
steak with the steak fingers. I think those are good, if I recall. I don't think they had chicken fingers. I think it was steak. That was good. I would order that quite a bit, often.
Yeah, it's just it's weird to go by those places and look at them now. From after 30 plus years of being gone, it's just a little sad, but good that there's progress too.
Spudnut is gone, but yeah, it closed for a while and then reopened, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
It's gone.
Did it reopen under new ownership?
Yeah, it has a new owner, and his face is on the sign. It's kind of strange, but I think they do okay.
Do they sell kolaches and stuff other than donuts? Like
no, just donuts.
Well, come on, man. They need to throw in some kolaches.
I don't think there are many kolache places out here.
There you go. Well, they probably won't be able to compete with the taquito.
Chick-fil-A.
Is there still a Mexican bakery in Plainview?
Yes, the one.
What was it called?
I still go there. I still go there. I can't remember the name of it.
That was a Sunday morning splurge, because I didn't like donuts. My mom would go and get us Mexican pastries, and they were
it's still so good. Busy, they're always busy. I'll think of the name of it.
Where I used to live off of 14th and Lexington, there was a vacant home or building. They turned that into a Mexican bakery.
Oh, really?
I think it's still open.
Huh. There's been some come and go even since I've been here.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it. So when I moved to
I'm Googling it because I'll go
Oh,
crazy if
good.
I can't remember.
Yes, because when my husband and I moved into this house, our next door neighbors, the wife, he's a optometrist or ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
His wife is Hispanic, and we got to talking. Turned out that she's from, I don't know, Tulia or somewhere, but her parents own that bakery.
The Frisco Bakery.
That's it. That's it.
There you go.
I'm like, what? Your parents? She's like, yes, my parents own the Frisco Bakery in Plainview. I'm like, what a small world.
Small world.
I
Absolutely.
know. I know. It's such a great place still.
That's cool. And it's
Yeah.
still open, right?
Still open.
Yeah.
Still open.
On Sundays, they would have French bread and barbacoa.
Yes.
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
They have menudo.
Who would eat that shit?
Bakery.
French bread and what? No.
Yeah, these like French rolls, and you buy the French rolls with the shredded beef, which they call barbacoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You eat that with corn tortillas.
Oh no, you ate it in the French bread.
They don't Americanize that shit.
I don't know. I have a French dad. Okay, that's how we ate it.
Yeah.
Tortillas.
Combination of cultures there.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Well, that's cool.
I'm excited to learn about this green economy movement.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Yeah, this is one that's really surprising that I'm seeing more and more of. There's a business out on, oh, now I'm going to forget the name, out as you go into Floydada. I guess that's
White Energy or XL Energy.
Yes, it's White Energy, and they make.
Well, here's it's messed up. Aviation fuel and vodka.
Yes, dude, this is really cool. So
no.
They make ethanol. They truck in corn from all over the country, and they make ethanol. And they're partnering with a couple of companies, one out of Japan that I like hooked them up with. This Japanese company called me and said, can you introduce us to White Energy? I'm like, yeah, let's go. So they, and then another business out of New York want to partner with them and buy their ethanol product. And it's the whole green economy. And I don't know enough about it to speak about it intelligently, but there's a ton of federal money right now for making things greener, right? And
yeah,
so they use the ethanol product in some way, and one of their main products that they're working on is green aviation fuel. And then as a byproduct, they can make vodka.
Wow. I always thought the vodka was like a potato only alcohol.
Yeah, it's like
hey, we're running out of fuel. Get the vodka. Pour it in the plane. Can you hang out? If not, we'll just drink the vodka and say bye.
That's right. It's our. Yeah, they're supposed to send me a bottle, but I don't have one yet. So
are they producing the vodka for different distillers? Or
no, it's really a small batch place.
Okay.
And they'll make it in. They'll actually make it probably in New York. Yeah. Somehow they'll ship the product back there, but it'll just be a small batch kind of place, distillery.
Well, let's hope they put the right label on there.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, they make several other things, but those are the two that I think are interesting.
Man, this is pretty cool. What's going on in Plainview? Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. And then you got this XL Energy, developed a 478 megawatt Hale wind farm. I guess the turbines.
Yeah, if you're out here, you see all the wind turbines everywhere. Mm-hmm. XL Energy put in one of those in Hale County. And what did I say? It's 478 megawatts.
Yep.
Out near Petersburg. So you just see them in the landscape, right? It's pretty incredible, but it makes wind energy, and they're supplying wind energy to their customers. And then there's several solar farms being developed out near Cress, and then west of Plainview, I think in another county, but huge solar farms. You know, there's so little water out here anymore that farmers are finding other ways to use their land. And this is one of them, is leasing it to solar farms. And they're incredible. They're huge. It's a good use of the land, and producing solar power for this area.
Now, are a lot of farmers out there starting to, because I know they are in Lubbock, are growing hemp?
I don't think so. I don't know of anybody growing hemp. They're still trying cotton and corn. A lot of places have converted just to grazing cows because there's so many dairies out here. So they're doing other things, but I haven't heard of anybody growing hemp yet.
It's not illegal, Lisa?
No.
No, hemp's not illegal because you can produce soap, paper, clothes, and it's hardy, hardier than cotton. You don't have to rotate the crops like you do with corn and cotton, and it's much more weather resistant. So it's much more viable to farmers. And there are a lot of farmers in West Texas, maybe not in the Plainview area, but in other surrounding areas that have really moved towards growing hemp because it's far more profitable. It's better for the environment. They don't have a lot of the bug issues and stuff that when you're growing cotton or corn. So
what else?
It's a win-win for everybody. And so,
so where do I live, Lisa? What's the name of my town?
What's the name of your town?
Yeah, where do I live? Hampstead.
Hampstead.
Yeah.
Are you surrounded by hemp farms?
It's funny. I just recently, like about a month ago, started buying a product called Hemps. They sell shampoo, conditioner, lotion. It's all plant-based, and it's badass.
Yeah,
I mean, my girlfriend uses the lotion like it's like, I mean, it's almost gone. I'm gonna have to order 2 more bottles. I mean, it's a very good product. So
yeah.
It can be used for so many different products, clothes, hemp fiber, lotion, soap. I mean, a lot of things. Protein, there's hemp protein, milk. I can go on and on about the hemp. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
Traffic. So you mentioned traffic. Where in the hell is the traffic in Plainview?
Right? 5th Street. People complain about traffic on 5th Street constantly.
Just like from I-27 in, or?
And some of the side roads too, Quincy and Ennis and everything, but mainly it's on 5th.
I have to wait through one light, and that's called traffic?
No.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, it's Plainview traffic.
There you go.
Plainview traffic.
I mean, here you could be in the parking lot in I-10.
I mean, look, I don't think it's bad, but I lived other places, so it's Plainview traffic.
Do you think a lot of that traffic, because a lot of people work in Plainview that live like in Tulia Crest, Health Center, Lockney sort of thing?
Yeah, I do. I think Plainview is really sort of a mini hub for all those small little towns. None of them have, they may have convenience stores of some sort, but they don't have grocery stores. They don't have Walmart, those kinds of things. So they all come to Plainview to shop. I was in a meeting in Hale Center not too long ago, and they were asking some Hale Center, some of their council members, some questions, and they said they really consider themselves a suburb of Plainview.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never heard that, but okay. So all those little towns come to Plainview for stuff.
Yeah. Close. This is a weird question. Is there anybody still in Edmondson?
Oh, wow. All those houses are still out there. I think there are people that live in all of them. I remember those big houses with the huge front lawns, right, along the highway. But a lot of those places have really sort of shrunk in some ways because people move into Plainview or they move out of the area. COVID changed everything. So some of them are still family houses that have been passed down to kids. So that's kind of cool seeing some of that too.
I mean, that's where I grew. We didn't move into Plainview until I was eight years old, I think. And
okay.
So we lived out in Edmondson, and my parents owned 2 of the businesses there. My mom owned beauty shop, and my dad had the gas station, auto parts store, and repair shop across the highway from her.
Cool.
And there was only a convenience store, and then Mrs. Morton had the post office. But when we were there, the population was 99.
Yeah. What was it when you were in high school, when you
I
lived
don't
here?
remember. I think it was smaller than that.
Oh, really?
So many people had moved into town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very small community. I'm like, it just
Yeah.
didn't know if it even existed anymore.
Yeah.
Edmonton Wheat Growers was out there, the big gym.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, I think it's been a while since I've driven out that far, but there's always, I recall cars being at those houses, and I think there's a little store out there still. So
it makes me laugh when you say that far. It's only 13 miles west.
I know.
It's a tiny, it's really,
Yeah.
That's from me going across, to the next neighborhood in Dallas.
Right. Right. Your perspective changes.
Yeah. I mean,
No
it's
doubt.
like, living in Lubbock, I remember with me and my buddies when we try to go somewhere back when we were young. Well, we lived on the west side. Well, let's go somewhere on 4th Street over there on 289. That's too far, man. That's too far to drive. And it's only 10 minutes and 15.
Exactly.
In these, like Houston, you gotta drive. I gotta drive in 20 minutes to go into Cypress, which a lot of the bigger stores.
Yeah.
Or it's
And you don't even think about it.
no, you don't. You don't anymore. I drive almost an hour to work from there and back, and it's all drive. And
Yep.
it's like from Plainview to Lubbock. It's like,
Yep.
damn, that's too far. But it's not.
Your perspective changes definitely when you move away. When I lived in California, I had a 120-mile commute every day.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Yeah. It was brutal, but I had to find a place to live, and I couldn't afford to live right in San Francisco, so I moved.
You do what you have to do.
I had to do what I had to do.
Wow.
So I'm gonna ask.
There's still people at Plainview that have never left Plainview. This is where their parents lived, and they've lived, and their kids lived. There are a lot of long-term families here that have never lived anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it is all about perspective.
Yeah. This is not on your list, but last year, our 40th reunion, I booked the president's house.
Yeah.
So Lisa stayed with the house, Andrew Dunlap, Gwyneth Dunlap, Sean Foley. I think that's it, right, Lisa? I mean, we enjoyed it. It was huh?
Scott.
Oh, Scott Broussard. He stayed in the little house, little cottage in the back. Well, it was a really nice house. I mean, it's every room has his own bathroom.
Yeah.
And that was the last weekend. That's what I was looking up the name. The Melchers owned it.
Yeah.
And they sold it to California, a young 30-year-old Californian who bought it. And now, correct me what I'm hearing, it's for sale now.
That's what I've heard too. I heard it from Reed on your Wawa's podcast. Yeah. Shout out to the Wawas, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand it's for sale as well. So I hope somebody finds that. And
it's $749,000 if you want to invest in a bed and breakfast.
It wasn't long after I got here, a group who meets there every month asked me to come speak. And so I went to speak to the group, and I went in the president's house, right? And I used to spend the night there with Karina Jester, and we would sneak out, right? We'd have parties over there and sneak out of the president's house. And it's that weird thing, you have memories of this place, and now here I'm an adult, have to go in and act adult and give a speech, right? So it's those kind of moments.
It's surreal. It's like coming full circle. Like you could never during that time ever in a million
ever
imagine that
ever. No, this was not part of the plan.
Oh my gosh. Well,
but it's been
that's how it's fun though. I mean, what a sweet thing to experience.
Yeah.
I want to know about this the event center and the Jimmy Dean music festival.
Yeah. So I think this is right. When Jimmy Dean died, however long ago he died, he gave some money to Wayland. And Wayland has used that money to continue to promote Jimmy Dean. The museum is Jimmy Dean Museum, and then they started a music festival. And for the past however many years, and I don't know how many, they've been having it on the Wayland campus. And I don't know how successful it's been. I don't think it's been real successful, the success that they were looking for, at least. And so this year they're moving it to a new event center, which is on I-27. It's called Sunset Point. I haven't been there, so I don't know what it looks like, but it's huge. If you look at it on Facebook, it looks just beautiful. But they're going to have they're going to host the Jimmy Dean Music Festival there this time. There'll be bands. They've got Little Texas and then a local band opening up. It's going to hold a lot more people. They're going to have food. They're going to have alcohol, dancing. I think it'll do much, much better at this location. And I'm excited to see the event center. It looks really cool.
So it's going to be an indoor.
When is that happening? Yeah. When is that happening, Kristi?
The 16th, August 16th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Up. Yeah, just coming up. They're having their ribbon cutting ceremony for the facility on August 10th. And then their first event will be August 16th.
Will you be attending?
I'm going to go to the ribbon cutting ceremony. Yes. I don't know if I'm going to go to the concert or not, or the
music festival.
The music festival. I may. It's not really my kind of music, but I may go support.
Yes. Well, if you do, will you take a couple of short little video clips?
Yes.
To our Go Knuckle Talk page?
I would love to. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so now you have an assignment.
Now I have to go.
Even if you don't stay long, just so that everybody can see what's happening there. That would be really cool if you could do that.
I would absolutely do that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I assume it's an all-day festival.
No, they're really just doing a concert this time.
Okay.
It was an all-day festival before with little art booths and things like that, food trucks. But now it's just going to be the concert and dance.
Plainview have any festivals like that? Anything?
There have been some over the years. There's not really a big one right now. We do a lot of things downtown. There's Second Saturdays downtown. There's like on 4th of July, there's what's called Red, White, and Moo Parade. So there's some of those hometown parade kind of things that still happen downtown, but there's not really a big festival that Plainview's known for.
Yeah, because like the small towns, even Hempstead is small, but even the smaller towns, man, they do have festivals and they get pretty good turnout.
Well, these second Saturdays, people come in from Lubbock and Amarillo to shop downtown Plainview. I mean, if you look at, I can look at where people are coming from to shop in Plainview, and it's a lot of zip codes and they're not Plainview.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Maybe I just had a memory that I had completely forgotten about. Remember downtown, the sidewalk sale?
Yes.
Remember that was a big deal. Everybody having their sidewalk sale before in the middle of the summer. It was like a midsummer thing.
Yep.
I couldn't wait for the sidewalk sale.
Yeah, there's still a few places that have them.
Yeah, and Gabriel's would have their big annual sale. I did all my school shopping there.
Yes, I miss Gabriel's.
Yeah.
Gabriel's and Mars and Sons.
And Kristi's too, because they always
have
whole boutique clothes there.
Yeah.
Well, now they got some real good ones.
Yeah, somebody's trying to put a brewery in the old Mars and Sons place downtown. So if that works, it's going to be cool.
I hope that comes to fruition.
I do too.
And that's when they should renovate Granada if that's very successful, and bring a couple more restaurants. So
yeah, we need a restaurant downtown that serves beer and wine and alcohol. That's what we need, and then it'll start taking off.
Well, Diana, when she was on our show a few weeks back, she mentioned that her daughters, Betty Faye. Help me out, Lisa.
Betty Faye Beauty Bar.
Beauty bar. Yeah.
Yes.
They're serving, I think, some beer, Texas wines.
Yes.
And some beers. So
yeah, they did
sandwiches.
They did a really smart thing because there's not very many restaurants downtown. She took Betty Faye and she, I think she had some space behind it, and she developed that space and put in a little bar and does wine and beer. And then one of the restaurants in town provides her weekly little box lunches of sandwiches and barbecue and salads and all these things, so she can sell them out of her little beauty bar and restaurant. It's called 806 Collective, I think is what it's called. But really, really smart to partner with another restaurant in town.
Cool.
That's really smart because I mean, people that are coming to eat, it drives business to her, and vice versa. People that are shopping, like, oh, there's food and drink here.
That's exactly right. Let's go in and have a glass of wine and snack on something.
Well, let me
Absolutely.
ask you, this just what about taco? I mean, what about food trucks? Is
You
there?
know, there are a few in this area. There's several in Lubbock, and there's a few in Plainview. But you know, I think that there's a Facebook page that people get on and can advertise your event, and all the food trucks will call and say, "I want to be there." So there's like this central hub where you can find them and help schedule them. So I think there's many in Lubbock that will come to Plainview for events, and just a few in Plainview.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stores, actually, it's Deborah's favorite stores, Flatland Collective.
Yeah.
They've been a sponsor of our show a few times. They got some really nice clothing and high end clothing that's very affordable.
Yeah, definitely. There's that's really good, and a couple of them downtown. Whenever I have visitors, that's one that I take them to, and a couple more downtown. Yeah, that's on the must-do list, definitely.
Okay. What do we have on this list, Miss Lisa?
Tell us about the indoor sports complex that's being planned. What is, I mean, like when you say sports, like what is it going to entail?
So this was very early in the planning session. We've done a feasibility study to see what we could support here, what kind of sports, and how much of those sports that Plainview and this region can support. And so, again, because we think regionally, we could host tournaments for this region. I don't know a lot about kids baseball and all of that stuff. That's sort of not my area, but I understand that it's a lot. There's a lot of people traveling and going and doing things all weekend, all those things. Softball even. And so we think we could do a facility that would be multi-purpose. You could have basketball courts, you could have volleyball courts, you could have pickleball courts, all kinds of different courts, and multi-purpose, so you could turn them into different things, right? You could wall them off so you could have little spaces. It's a really very multi-purpose kind of gym. And we could host tournaments from all over the area. And so, like I said, we've done the feasibility study and know what we could support. We know how much it'll cost. And now we've got to figure out how to put the package together, start designing, and then how do we finance it, and who are the partners, and then who do we hire to run it. We're working with a company outside of Texas, and I'm sorry, I can't remember where they're from, but that's what they do that's their business, is they go around and they help communities build multi-use sports complexes and help them run it. So we're working with them and just trying to put the whole package together. I think the school district is going to partner with us, and they put some money aside to help pay for it. We have a location. We've just got to put it all together now, and that's sort of the hard part. It's getting everybody at the table and figuring
once you do, the Wawas should come out of retirement and play the first tournament.
I think somehow we've got to name that Wawas. Somehow there's got to be the Wawa court, or the Wawa restroom, or the Wawa something, right?
Well, yeah, we ain't worth a shit at the restroom.
Yes, in the restroom.
I'm sorry.
Sponsored by.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very, very early stages. This is a sort of a long-term project. It'll be 5 or 6 years before it even gets under construction, probably, because there's still so many details to work out. So
I want to talk next about the Hilton. It's turned into apartments. A lot of the metroplexes like Dallas, again, yep. Houston, they take those old buildings and turn them into apartments. But then, I mean, those are high end, very expensive. $5,000-8,000 a month rentals.
Mm-hmm. Not in Plainview.
I know, but is it higher than most other places? I mean, is it
No,
no?
no, it's in fact, it's a tax supported, tax
Oh, okay.
credit supported project,
The
which
Section
is
8, I
what,
guess.
no, you just get tax credits through the state
Hmm.
for building to a certain level and certain incomes. It's not
Right.
Section 8 or anything like that, but it is what I would say rent controlled, because you
Yeah.
get credit from the state for building. And there are companies that do this all over Texas. We had a couple in New Braunfels as well, but we've got 3 of those projects happening right now, and Hilton was the first. We had a developer come in and look at it and redesigned it, and it's beautiful, small. Some are 2-bedroom, but apartments, and it's full all the time, and it brings people downtown. It is the beginning, one of many steps into sort of revitalizing downtown, is bringing people down there to live.
That's
So
wonderful. I mean, makes the walkability factor.
exactly, that's exactly right. And we've redone all the sidewalks along Broadway. So there's new landscaping and larger sidewalks and music speakers. So there's music playing down there all the time. So we're really focusing on sort of redoing downtown and make it a gathering place.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
what happened to the old JCPenney, Sears, and Montgomery Ward buildings, which were all right there adjacent and across from each other?
Like at Broadway and Fifth? No.
Yeah, no, Broadway. Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I think I know where you're talking about it. It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember, right? Where everything is or what it used to be. One of those is, and I think it was the old Sears, is now the county. The county owns it, and they have the district attorney there and courts and things like that. One of them is vacant. And I believe one of them, somebody bought and trying to turn it into an event center. And I think it is a small event center. I don't think they're using the whole building. I think they're just using a part of it to host events.
I will tell y'all a funny, not so funny story about JCPenney. Remember, it was 2 levels. You'd go down the stairs.
You go downstairs, right?
And the little girls department was downstairs,
Yep.
and the catalog ordering was
Yep.
downstairs, and they had no escalator. My grandmother tumbled down those stairs. She stepped on her hem of her pants and rolled off.
Oh no.
Thankfully, she had enough meat on her bones that she didn't break anything.
Oh my gosh.
My mom was paying on her layaway, and she heard this thump, and she just knew, and she didn't even have to look. She just knew it was her mother. Yeah, at that store, because they
Wow.
no escalators, no elevators.
That's right. Yeah, that was before you had to have any of those things.
Right.
Wow. Was she okay?
She was okay. I mean, she was banged up and bruised, but thankfully she didn't break anything.
Yeah.
She made a few $100,000 and said, "See y'all, see you, family."
That's right.
I remember my mom telling us the story about that. I went to hug my grandmother, and she's like, "Oh, don't touch me!" Like everything. She had so many bruises.
Oh wow.
Full roll down the, and they were marble stairs.
Yes, they were.
Oh wow, I remember that.
Now that I think about that, I got picked for jury duty not too long ago, and I was in that building, and there is carpet on all the walls.
What?
There's carpet on all the walls.
Shag?
Yes. I mean, I think it's a noise thing, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those were old buildings.
What about White's Auto?
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
because I worked there a summer.
Really?
I worked there.
Yeah. So, Hello Baby is right next door. Hello Baby is owned by Tara and Tyler James. Tyler's in the James family. His mom's Vicky James, Tommy James.
Like Jeff, your classmate?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And that whole James family. Anyway, they own Hello Baby, and now they've bought White's Auto right next door, and they're going to turn it into like a little restaurant and bar. Maybe not a full restaurant, but a bar, wine bar, music. So they've got all these plans for that location. I saw the design not too long ago, and it's going to be really cool. It's just going to be sort of a chill place to go and have a drink and hang out.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it really is.
Is the American Legion swimming pool still there?
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's there. It's barely standing, but if you look at the pictures inside, it's so gross. You know, it's dirty, and I mean, what you would think, it's been sitting there for however long, 35 years or so.
Oh, it's just not been in use. It's just
Nope.
abandoned.
Nope, abandoned. It's sad.
Yeah.
It is sad.
I think the deep end, it had like a 10 or 15 foot
Yeah.
diving board.
Yeah,
And
totally.
I think it was like 10 or 12 feet in the deep area.
Yeah, I think
The
you're right.
deepest there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I went swimming there many times, and I learned how to swim by the hard way. This dude asked me, there was an opening for sunbathing, and the guy was right there. He goes, "You guys know how to swim?" Of course. Grabs me, throws me in the deep. I didn't know how to swim.
You didn't know how to swim.
Like a dog pedal on top. He grabbed me. I thought you said you were going to swim. I lied.
I didn't learn how to swim there. My mom wouldn't let me. She was terrified of water, so she projected that fear. And so it got to the point where I got kicked out of the kiddie pool because I was too big.
Oh.
So embarrassing. I'm like,
Oh.
let me go over there. Like, you're too old. Jump the wall. You have to stay in the big pool.
Oh.
That's
so
funny. Frontier Market. So is that's a farmers market? It's only I assume open on weekends, or
No, it's actually open all the time. It's a family. It's a true, well, I mean, it's a business. It's not like a typical farmers market that you see in a downtown area, like only on the weekends. It's open every day, and it's a family who owns a farm and farms other things, but brings in cattle and beef, and I think they've done some lamb and some other meats that they do fresh there, and vegetables and everything. It's a great place. It's great to have all that very fresh farm produce and things, right? And beef that's been grown around here and processed around here. So it's a real, I mean, it's like the farm to table thing, right? We've got farm to table in Plainview.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How long's that been open?
It's been open probably a year and a half now. They've been farming for a while. It's a really young couple, so this is sort of their entrepreneurial endeavor, I guess. And I think they're very
from California.
No, they're local.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they're local.
Good.
Yeah, not too many Californians in Plainview.
Well, yeah, it's that one girl who bought the Price Club shoes from there, and I mean, people from California are coming into Texas buying a lot of.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and bringing money. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's nice. What else do we have here? Let's talk about the honor. I was looking. Where is it? Like y'all's Hollywood
Walk
Star.
of Fame.
Yeah, the Walk of Fame. When did that start? When did that start, and whose idea was it?
Okay, so these are some of the coolest things that I've learned about Plainview. The Walk of Fame has been around for a long time. I don't know when it was started, but it's been around for a long time. And there's probably, I don't know, 12 or 15 people on it. But in like Jimmy Dean's on it, right? So you would expect Jimmy Dean. Another person that's on it is Jim Clark. Jim Clark is from Plainview, grew up in Plainview, didn't complete high school. He got kicked out of high school in Plainview, went on to the military, I believe, and then went on to found Netscape, which was the very first sort of internet. Yeah. I don't know what you call it, but the very first internet portal or whatever you call it. So
dial up.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's two really cool ones, and this is, I sort of did this one as a quiz. What do Aretha Franklin, Hank Williams Jr., The Doors, REO Speedwagon, Alice Cooper, Percy Faith, and the movies Hooper, Diner, and Life of Brian have in common?
Well, we've
No,
got a cheat sheet. We
I
got a
know you
cheat
got a
sheet,
cheat.
so which I did not know about. I know this guy.
Me either. Who
Joy,
knew? But he designed all of their album covers.
and this is Joe Garnett.
Joe Garnett. He designed album covers for very famous albums. And did some for movies as well, a Monty Python movie, lots of other movies, but he did major artwork for bands' album covers. The Doors, Aretha Franklin. That's really cool to me.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah.
And look, Plainview, he grew up in Plainview and went on to do that.
Oh my God, Isaac Hayes.
Right?
Holy cow.
Yeah, I wonder how they found this guy. I mean,
What do you mean? Who Plainview
like
found?
how did it get started doing this?
I don't know.
That's what I mean.
I think he was, I think I read that he was just artistic and somebody noticed him one day.
Okay.
And said, you need to go take some art classes. Probably something easy like that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, Phyllis Wall and Danny Andrews, please let us know. Post
Yeah,
below.
they'll know. No doubt about it. You know, the other person that will know is Curtis Peoples, because he came to this and he knows his music.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then the other really extra cool one is, do you remember Schoolhouse Rocks growing up? I'm Just a Bill, and 3 is a Magic Number, and all of those. The guy that wrote them is from Plainview.
That's super cool.
Right?
Yeah, I loved watching those.
I know.
Bob Duro?
Bob Duro.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I think that's how you pronounce it. He just got put in the Walk of Fame just like 6 months ago, I think. And his wife came in and she led everybody in a song from Schoolhouse Rocks.
Oh my gosh. Did he also do the Conjunction Junction?
What's your function? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. I want to put Lisa, my name and Lisa's in there in 20 years from now, because this podcast is going to grow, and we're going to be famous from it. So,
cool.
We want to go next time we're there. I want to go ahead and pick our spot, Lisa.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. We'll just carve your name, your initials in it. Yeah,
there you go.
And we'll reserve it for you.
You got to have the
goat knuckle.
The goat knuckle, and I want as you mentioned, I want the goat man next to us.
That's right. Man. Nobody knows the goat man.
Yeah, I don't know when that died down.
I don't know. I have to tell you what I did just recently on the Chick-fil-A project. We had it's more detailed than you want to know, but the city is giving some property to Chick-fil-A for their location. And so we had to replat the property. And they came and asked me what they wanted me to call the property when they platted it. And I said, I want you to call it Goat Knuckle Flats. That's what I want you to call it. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? What's a goat knuckle? So I had to explain goat knuckle to all of these people in a room who thought I was crazy. And then they wouldn't let me name it Goat Knuckle Flats. So I'm going to get Goat Knuckle somewhere. Somewhere I'm going to get it.
Well, it's Goat Knuckle Taco Flow's trademark, so you can't touch that. You can't touch that.
But I can do this, right?
This is, I need to post this, or maybe have Lisa. What is the best way to tell people that didn't grow up in Plainview the meaning of goat knuckle?
Okay,
what is the simplest
way?
What
does it mean?
What I tell them, it's like you got the best of that person.
Yeah.
Being a prank, or you have an argument, debate, and but you got the best of them, but more in a comical way, I guess, is when you do the goat knuckle. But I know there's a better explanation. So people, PHS, tell us, what is the best way to explain goat knuckle? Lisa, what about you? You want to give it a shot?
I mean, I think you did a great job. It's like when you got goat knuckle, it's like it's a gotcha,
Yeah.
You got had. You've been had.
That's right.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But, I would like to, at some point in time, I'm just throwing that out there. I would like to hopefully get to a point where we can have a little mini write-up about what we're doing on this podcast in the Plainview Daily Herald.
I can help you with that.
Okay, I would love that, so that more people we know about what's going on, and maybe it opens up the door to other people coming on that would never have considered because they didn't know anything about it. But because we're promoting Plainview, that's what we're doing.
That's exactly right. Yeah. No, I'd be glad to help you with that. I'd love to get the word out. And not just to Plainview, but other areas, right? Other areas that can learn about Plainview and some of its history, and all of us who have lived through it.
Yeah. Well, like Betty Faye Beauty Bar and Flightline Collective, we mentioned their name as a sponsor, and they give us an online promo code discount. So anyone, again, we're not charging, not right now, but we're not charging. But if they want us to promote, even though we're still small, but I'm hearing it's getting out. I mean, our show is getting out more and more to Plainview people, and we would love to help these local businesses any way we can. And we'd love to have a promo code if they're willing.
Yeah, they've been great to me. I've asked them to do a couple of little promo codes for conferences that I've hosted, because it's a way for me to get people to go downtown. So they'll do really creative stuff with us.
Yeah,
and I like what Phyllis Wall has done too. She's done a phenomenal job on her Facebook page. I mean,
it does.
I mean, thumbs up to her.
Yeah, no doubt. She's got several pages that she keeps up with. So yeah.
She's like Miss Plainview.
She knows everything.
She knows everything about Plainview, but promoting business has been more than anything, just having, as many people from that area, from Plainview, to come on and share their unique stories. I mean, like, we learned a lot from those boys last weekend.
Right.
Oh, wow.
In my mind, we all create perceptions of people around us. And someone's perception is their reality. I was just stunned. I always thought these guys were so straight-laced.
Oh no.
Wrong. I mean, they were harmless, but I would never, the stories they shared, I would have never ever guessed.
So you heard how Jeff James was punished for his birdie?
I did.
I was like,
and they're really just scratching the surface. I'll tell you, they're scratching the surface of stories.
Oh, I believe it.
Well, share one.
Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I have memories of all of them collectively, and I have memories of each one of them individually. So yeah, they're all great.
Well, maybe when you decide to leave Plainview, you can write a memoir. And
that's right. That's what I'll do. I'll tell all the stories.
Yeah.
So
or you can pay me not to.
Yeah. Is there anything else you're working on? That's not on this list?
This week, I'm working on Thursday. We are hosting the Governor's Office of Economic Development Small Business Summit here in Plainview. And so the governor's office, not the governor, but his staff is coming in to host basically a workshop and seminar on opening small businesses, wherever that may be, whether it's in Plainview or West Texas or anywhere. So I've been working on that this week and getting panels together and speakers and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be fun. I hope we have a really good turnout. It's going to be out at the country club.
Who can attend that? Is it
anyone?
Anyone can attend that.
Anyone. Yeah. If anybody interested, if anybody sees this podcast before Thursday, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have it on tomorrow.
Yeah. It'll be posted tomorrow.
You can go on the city's webpage or their Facebook page or the Chamber's Facebook page, and there's registration information in both of those places. Okay. And it's $20.
That's exciting.
Well, the promo code at our show. No, I'm just kidding. But when I was talking to Lisa earlier, I was very impressed what's going on in Plainview, the little old town. I mean,
little old town you don't know about, you don't see them, right? It's not stuff you see. We don't promote a lot of stuff really well. So, we just kind of do stuff and go on and don't talk about it too much, but there's really cool stuff going on that's really having a huge impact on Plainview for its future. So it's exciting. Again, this is my hometown and I'm doing something in my hometown that's really special for me. And so I think it's really cool. Not everybody else does, but I do.
I think it's very exciting, and I stand by what I said at the beginning of the show, that Plainview is very, very lucky to have you, Kristi.
Oh, thank you.
And I think these are all really exciting developments. And when I read this earlier, I was just, I mean, if you could have seen the expression on my face, open jaw, but elated, just really thrilled.
Yeah.
These are great opportunities for our hometown. And it's nice to see it revitalizing and coming back to its former state and glory of how I remember it when I was there.
Yeah, it's taken a lot of work by a lot of people. A lot of smart people have done some really great things here and set us on a trajectory. Some of the things that we're working on today, got started right after 2013 when Cargill closed. We have a business park now. And, that was thought about in 2014, and it's taken that long to get there. But, that's a legacy project that will benefit Plainview for years to come. So, these projects start and may end up many years from now, but it's planning for the future, economic security for the future.
Nice. Well, I'm going to be there just for the day. Gonna go have lunch with my parents, and we're gonna go back to Lubbock. But I want to take them to that new steakhouse. It is still there, correct? It's like on the west side, 5th Street over there by those.
On the other side of I-27.
Yes, on the west side. Yes,
I think it's Goodfellas.
Yes.
Yeah, Goodfellas. Okay. They have a restaurant also on. Oh, is it Quincy? Where Quincy curves around where the bowling alley is? Mm-hmm. It's right across the street from the bowling alley, about that area. They have a restaurant over there, and then they've opened up a second one out there on I-27, basically.
Okay.
It's called Goodfellas.
Nice.
I think that's what you're talking about.
And speaking of the bowling alley, that's been around since we were in school. Maybe, no?
Forever, yes.
Yeah. I mean, maybe different ownership, but it's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has changed ownership. I don't know the new owners, but there's people there. There are bowling leagues. People still do that. People still go to the roller rink.
I was just about to ask about that.
Yes, exactly.
If Randy Walzer, he was like one of the best ones back in the day, and he could still do it.
Skate backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it.
That was almost. I mean, literally just down the street. We used to walk to the.
Did you really?
Yeah, I loved it.
So fun. I can't believe it's still open, but it still is. There have been classes that have had their reunions out there too, which is such a great idea.
That's nice. Oh, the water park. You can rent that out too, can't you? Don't they have a area to the water park, the splash pad?
Oh, is that still 16th Street Pool? Is that what you mean? 16th Street Pool. If you remember that, it's now a splash pad water park. It still has the pool, but it's getting all these other features around it, kids features and slide features and all these other things. So it's like a little mini water park at 16th Street.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I have two more questions. Downtown, what's the percentage do you believe that's it's filled with businesses?
Oh, that's a good question, Michael. It's kind of hard to tell because one of the issues that we have downtown is there are a lot of owners who are just using their buildings for storage, which is fine. It's their building, right? They can do whatever they want with it. But for an active and vibrant downtown, we need those buildings to be active in some way. And so how do we get those owners to make whatever decision or change their mind or do whatever?
Money talks.
Yeah, exactly. We got to have a buyer. We're going to try and start doing some things like doing some art on some of the windows to at least give it some interest instead of seeing, storage and things back there. If we can get somebody to paint some cool things on windows, that would be, more interesting at least. So we've got some ideas going around to do things like that. But as far as the percentage, that's hard to tell, Michael, because there's so many that are used, just not actively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we're talking about 50%,
Probably.
half, or
It's probably 60%. No, it's probably, gosh, it's probably 50% used,
Okay.
active in use. Like
active. Okay.
yeah.
well,
Well,
maybe that would be motivating with more businesses, active businesses coming
Right.
in. That would be a motivating factor.
I hope so.
Move those
Yeah.
businesses along.
Yeah.
is that a lot? Are those vacancies a lot of old money? Old money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
People have been in Plainview for a long time. Yeah. And it
Okay.
just, they're retired. They don't need to do anything with them.
Right.
Or they pass away and it gets passed on to their kids and they just sit on it too. So, they need a little motivation.
Speaking of painting, let's talk a little bit about that mural.
Oh yeah, we did there is a new mural downtown. It's on the side of Higginbotham Insurance, which is Broadway and 7th, I think. But it's really cool. This is a project Phyllis was involved in as well. And she sort of spearheaded it with Higginbotham. The city was involved. And then some private donors to draw this really cool mural on the side of Higginbotham. And it's very, very colorful, and it represents Plainview. We had artists out of Amarillo come and do the drawing and do the painting. And it just sort of enlivens a part of downtown that, needed a little color in it. It's a great sort of selfie place. That was sort of what we talked about when working with the artists, is we want it to be a place where somebody goes and takes a selfie, right, about Plainview or something. Yeah. So that's what we've done. And it's right next to some open space. It's called Millennium Park. I think Millennium Park came in after I left, because I don't remember it. It was right behind the post office. And I think they turned it into a park at some point. I don't know, but there's not really anything there. It's really just open space and some seating. But we're working on a plan to build something there and make it more active. Maybe like a little stage, a little performance area, seating, lawn areas, food truck parking, and some things like that to really give us a little downtown space to do some things. So that'll just further add to downtown.
Well, the all reunions next year, that's something they should really promote for everyone that's coming in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if anybody wants to make a little donation from their class, we could hurry that along a little bit. The project, we're just in design now, so we'll start doing some fundraising and looking for money pretty soon. So, call me.
There you go. So what is on Plainview's wish list? Like, what restaurants or retail store? I mean, is there a wish list that you guys or you have?
I do have a wish list, and it's a variety of things. Some of the things on my wish list are for things to go away. You remember like when you're going down 5th Street and you turn left to go into I-27 to go to Lubbock, that Allsup's right there and the hotel behind it. I would really like for those to be gone so we could redevelop that corner and put something new there and something better there. There's some other places in town where I would like for things to go away so they could be redeveloped. Yeah. Certainly housing is at the top of everybody's list. Everybody asks about housing. I told you the top 3 were Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, and H-E-B. So got the top 2. I don't think we're going to get an H-E-B. I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime. So
you've got to increase that to like maybe Lubbock size.
Yeah, size and money, buying power. But people would want variety in restaurants. We've got so many good Mexican and barbecue places, right? So I think there's a real desire to have some variety is the big thing.
Like seafood.
Well, I mean, do you think something like a real legit fine dining restaurant would the community support that?
I don't think so. We've got a new restaurant called Table on 10th right now. It's been open maybe 6 months, which is a really, really great place. It's, do you remember where the Rose Shop was next
Yes.
to College Hill?
Yes.
Over there? They've taken that space and made it into a wine bar and restaurant, and it's great food, and they're doing very well. I think that's about right for Plainview. It's a small place. It's on the high end for Plainview, but the food is amazing and everybody loves it. So if that will continue to do well, I think that speaks well for others looking at it. You know, I get calls from some of the big chains pretty regularly asking about Plainview, where we are, what's happening in Plainview. So there's lots of places that have their eye on Plainview. But we just have to get to a point, right? We need to get the population or maybe the spending power. But the thing that's really helping actually right now is I-27 and all the traffic that comes up and down I-27.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, from South Lubbock all the way to Amarillo, there's nowhere to get off and get something to eat. You can go to Dairy Queen in Hale Center, right? Or Dairy Queen in Abernathy, but there's nowhere to get off and eat. But Plainview.
You remember before they built I-27, it went through all the small towns.
Yeah.
Through Happy, through Tulia.
Yeah, Tulia. Yeah. And those poor little communities have kind of died because of that.
Yeah.
They're still farming communities, but you know, Plainview really did benefit from I-27 coming through, and that's where the focus is right now. I get calls about that intersection of I-27 and 70 pretty regularly.
Well, it sounds like support like chain restaurants like Olive Garden and things like that.
Yep, exactly.
You need a sushi place.
Michael?
I agree.
I know, Lisa. I know.
Do y'all not do sushi?
I love sushi.
I used to.
I'm a bit of a sushi snob. There's some pretty sushi in Dallas.
I agree. I love sushi, but I don't know about West Texas sushi. So
catfish.
That's right.
Bass.
I like my sushi fried out here.
Well, cool. You know, we've been on almost 2 hours, and Kristi, and actually we haven't, because no, we started at what, 6:30. We got 30 more minutes. What else can we talk about?
What else you want to know?
I want to know some stories about the Wawas. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No.
No, because they'll tell on me. If I tell on them, they'll tell on me.
There you go. What about the? It's a hard word for me to pronounce. Agricultural. It's like cotton and corn. And besides the cucumbers, is that still very strong?
Yeah, it really is. It's still a huge part of the economy. Cotton has a hard time out here anymore because of water. Water is a big issue here. We're running out of water. So, you know, farmers have been changing their crops and doing different things, but it's still an agricultural community. And part of that is dairy too. We've got several dairies out here now that are very successful, and that's part of the agricultural economy as well. We've got some agriculture tech places out here that just do some of the new technology for farming. You know, one of our companies out here, Browning Seeds, is doing seeding by drone now. They've got a drone that will go all over your farm and drop seeds everywhere. So, you know, some of those places are beginning to take up real modern technology to farm. And so we've got a couple of those places out here that have been really successful. So it's still agricultural based, but it's changed from what it used to be. Yeah. It's just different.
Okay.
Right. You know, we've got to change with the times, right? Otherwise,
it
withers away.
Yeah, change or die.
Change or die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for small town America, that's how it has to be. You've got to, you know, keep up with the advancements in technology in order to be economically competitive.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, I'm doing a rebranding of Plainview Economic Development right now, and I'm working with a marketing company to sort of re-describe Plainview, because we've been using the same materials and logos and all those things for a long time. And so we really need sort of an update. And so it's been cool to work with a company, they're out of North Carolina, to look at, have them look at Plainview through their eyes and have them describe it differently than I might, and focus on what they think the strengths are that I might not have thought of, or put it in a different way that I might not have thought of. So, that's been really refreshing, trying to describe Plainview in a new modern way. And the reality is, for this area, we're competing with businesses with, Dumas and Borger and Pampa, and other communities our size. And so really our niche is that we are a rural town. And if you want rural values and a rural community where your neighbors, the schools are good, you grow up in a community where everybody, there's churches, all of these things, then Plainview is for you. And so you sort of have to lean into what we actually are, rather than trying to hide what we don't want to be, right? What we don't want to show, or try to be something that we're not. So we do have to advance. I agree with that 100%. I do think it's an evolution. It's not necessarily change. You just have to evolve to compete with whatever that may be, whoever it is you're competing with. You do have to do things so that people look at you. And that's through, for me, and what I do, that's through marketing, and trying to describe to businesses, if they bring their business to Plainview, here's what you can expect. Here's what the community's like. Here's what your neighbors are like. Here's what the schools are like. So, for West Texas, I think you have to lean into it.
Yeah,
you really do.
I mean, I can see why the housing development's got to be very important to y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have the houses for these businesses that are being built and their employees.
Yeah, definitely. We get what's called requests for information from the governor's office. So businesses that are looking to move to Texas, or maybe move in Texas, they'll go through the governor's office and they send us information. And so I get probably 2 or 3 of those a week. And sometimes they're big manufacturing companies that need, 1,500 jobs, or it's a green energy company that needs 2,000 acres and 2,500 employees, or, these big, huge projects. But occasionally we'll get a small one, it's a $15 million project and we need 20 employees. Well, Plainview can do that, right? That's where we can compete. And so you just got to get to know what it is that's important to them and what they're looking for, and try to be that for them and describe, what we can provide. But we're competing with, Abilene for that $15 million project, or, other medium-sized towns in this area. So that's where our sweet spot is, sort of from 10 to probably 200, 250 employees. Those are the size businesses that I go after.
It's wonderful. And so how much does Wayland contribute in terms of bringing people to Plainview?
It's I'm excited about Wayland. Just recently, really, they have a new president. She just started last month. Her name is Donna Hedgepath. She came from Kentucky. This is the first new president that Wayland has had in, a very long time. I don't know how long. Bobby Hall was the president for a very long time. And so they brought somebody from the outside. She's the first female president. She's very, very impressive. And so what people have not liked about Wayland in the past, I think we're going to see some good things come out of Wayland, more participation in Plainview specifically. It's not that they didn't in the past, but the relationships just weren't there, I don't think. And she's very relationship based. And so I've met her. I've not met with her, but I think she has some new innovative ideas for Wayland. And so I'm excited about that. Wayland's always been good to Plainview. They do bring students in, they bring in teachers. And a lot of that is foreign. They have a big foreign project or a big foreign base from various countries, and they bring people in. But they give a lot of scholarships locally into Texas too. So I think things are going to get much better at Wayland. I'm really excited about the new president and the sort of invigoration that she'll bring.
It's exciting.
Nice.
So do you know where in Kentucky she's what college she came?
I don't. It's a small college, just like Wayland, Christian-based college, private college.
So I lived in Berea, Kentucky, and I bought a historic little coffee shop there. That was one of the businesses, and it was right across from Berea College. And I lived in a town that was 11,000 people. And my father-in-law was the head of the science department there, and he ran the planetarium and all this stuff. And it was a really amazing experience. And it's a really small liberal arts work study college.
Yes.
And so they have their students come from all over the world.
Yeah. Yes.
It's one of the best colleges, and it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. And they did some wonderful things for the community there, and I was real involved in that community, and I did a lot of catering jobs for a lot of people. But that was and so when I think of Wayland, I always think of Berea College because it's sort of
Sure. One of the things that we really need is workforce training here in Plainview, because most kids that graduate from college, I mean, let's be honest, they don't go to college, or graduate from Plainview High School, don't go to college. Some go to South Plains College, some go straight to work. And so based on the new industry that we're developing here, we really need some workforce training programs. And I think Wayland's going to be able to step in and do some of that stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I think
have we covered everything?
A lot. No, we did, which is, I thought when we first talked to you about it, I said, at least it's going to be 5 minutes. It's Plainview, but no, I mean, Plainview, it's very impressive. And I'm excited, when we go back, and I go back in about a month, is go check out some of these downtown places. Of course, Deborah loves to go and buy a lot of wardrobe from there. But so we're going to go by Flatland Collective for sure. So, we
go see Donna.
Go see Donna if she's working.
Oh,
if she's working.
We were there last summer. I mean, I saw her at the reunion, but she was not working the day.
Okay.
I think she was babysitting one of her grandkids.
Yeah.
But thank you, and we would love to have you on, like maybe every quarter or every 6 months.
As long as I have something to report about.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about the cows.
Oh, the cows. Yeah.
Yeah. How many are they, roughly?
I don't know. The cows have sort of come and gone over the years, is my perception, right? I mean, it was a big deal when they started, and then it sort of waned off. And the chamber used to produce sort of a little map where you could go around and see all of them. I think they still do, but several of the new businesses, so somebody wrote in on Facebook, let's say this. Somebody wrote in on Facebook and said, why don't you move all the cows to the
pasture?
To the pasture, right, on I-27. So it would attract people to come in and see, a visitor thing, which is a really good idea. But, we've had several new businesses come into town over the past 5 or 6 years, and they want a cow. They want a cow outside of their business. That's one of the first things they ask about is, where can we get a cow? And so those businesses are really proud of them. And so to move them, we might get a little bit of pushback, and then because they love those cows.
Well, the thing I'd be afraid of is graffiti. I mean, I can see Lisa and I'll be going out there putting the Goat Knuckle logo on all those cows.
I mean, look, I have a cow that we could adopt and that we could put Goat Knuckle on it. I can make that happen.
Well, let's get a goat.
Let's go. Let's get
make a damn goat. It's all you classes from the late 70s probably to the early 90s. Let's donate $5. We get 10,000 people donate $5. We'll get this done.
That's right. Let's do it.
Bring Goat Knuckle to Plainview again. Return it. return it.
The return of the goat
The
knuckle.
goat knuckles. There you go.
Love it.
Yeah, and then he also mentioned the flea market.
Yeah.
By the way, that's my cousin that mentioned
Oh, it
that.
is.
Philip, my cousin Philip. Yeah, because that's pretty popular in some of the bigger cities.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's plenty of places that we could do it. I think he mentioned on a parking lot or something like that. There's a couple of businesses downtown that have taken one of their buildings, and they used to be office buildings, I think, and they have made each little room an individual room that you can rent and do your business out of. And so if you have a small business, you can go rent a room and it's all in this one building, and front glass and everything. So there's little spaces that you can go start a business. I know that's not the same thing,
right,
but there are small places in Plainview. But a flea market, I don't know, it would be a good idea. I just don't know who would do it, right? Who would do that? Is that a chamber of commerce? Is that one of the Hispanic churches? Maybe somebody like that, right? There'd need to be sort of somebody spearheading it.
Right where I live close to the Arboretum here in Dallas, and there's an organization that's nonprofit. It's called Good Local Markets, and they promote local markets. And so my local farmers market, there's ranchers and farmers of everything, but they also have a tremendous amount of artisans that come. It's every Saturday for extended months during the year, and it has turned into a really big thing, and it's really, really nice because it's not just. And it's the flea market concept.
Yes.
But it's an artisan, farmer's market combined, and they have a musician will come and play, and they have all sorts of types of artists and businesses that come and display their wares. And it's because they only have it, once a week. It's a big
Yeah, you go get coffee on Saturday morning, you go walk around the farmer's market, right?
A local coffee shop comes and set up shop. And there's a couple of bakeries, and it's just a really, really great concept. And
we had something very similar in New Braunfels. So loved it. Every Saturday morning to go buy stuff and see the artisans and get food and all kinds of stuff. When we redo Millennium Park downtown, the design right now has a big lawn, and it has places for food truck parking, but we anticipate we'll be able to do something like that there. I don't necessarily want to do a farmer's market because I don't know if I want to compete with the business that's already there selling their items, but we could do artisans, we could do specialized food, we could do all of that. We just got to get the space down there first.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, again, Kristi, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
I really enjoyed this. I really have. And just to learn what's all happening or has happened, and what could possibly be there in the future for Plainview. I mean, it's right 20, like still in the low 20,000s in population.
It's about 22 right now.
I mean, it can easily go over 30 in a decade.
Yeah, easily.
With these businesses coming in. So
yeah, it's exciting.
Well, you have anything to say, Ms. Lisa, or do you have any parting words, Kristi?
Smile on my face because I'm just really excited about all these new developments. Yeah. It's a motivation for me to go back home and visit. Yeah. I can't thank you enough for coming to join us and sharing all of this inside information, and hopefully we get more people excited about what's happening in Plainview and involved in the community, and involved in getting excited about coming on this program to share their stories or their developments with us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a picture from that mural when I'm down there.
That's right. You should.
Up there.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Because you go these little small towns, they always have murals so people that are visiting can take a photo.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
There's a Crockett. I drove to what's that, Louisiana, east of Dallas, Shreveport, and I drove through between Houston and there, and I went through Crockett, and there's a lot of Crockett. Daniel, no, it's Danny Boone. David Crockett. paintings on the wall. So, and I saw a
Yeah,
couple of people taking photos. So,
that's right. People love
Lisa,
that.
we got to put the goat knuckle talk with Flo on there so they can take pictures.
Yeah.
Or when you do a goat knuckle mural somewhere.
There you go.
Well, Kristi,
So,
thank you again.
yes, I was gonna say real
Oh,
quick,
it was
Kristi,
fun.
I want you, I would like you, the Sander twins, Susan Martin, Carrie Tuttle, Julie Branch. I want the Wawas of the, of the females. So I want you guys to come on and share some high school stories.
Uh-oh, I don't know if I can.
But anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all. It's been fun.
Awesome. It's so nice to see you, Kristi.
Yeah, y'all too. Thanks for doing this. It's really cool. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to hear from people I haven't heard from in, gosh, forever. So I'm really excited about y'all doing this and hope you keep doing it for a while. It's great. It's a lot of
As long as we get people to participate, absolutely. We'll do this till whenever. We love it.
Yeah,
We got front row seats to the best stories of
that's
Plainview.
right.
We do.
That's right. It's so
We
cool.
love it. So
yeah, it's so cool. Well, let me know what I can do to help anytime.
all right. Well, good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye.